These submachine guns powered close-quarters fighting across every theater of World War II, from the shattered streets of European cities to the dense jungles of the Pacific. Each weapon reflects a mix of ingenuity, compromise, and survival. We start with American designs, but first, subscribe for more WW2 weapons deep dives. Thompson M1A1, a dependable American staple. This wartime simplified Thompson removed elaborate features like the cooling fins and the top-mounted selector to speed manufacture. Chambered in .45 ACP, it became an iconic short-range powerhouse and a familiar sight with Allied infantry throughout the conflict. Rising M50, an early Marine Corps choice. The Rising found use with Marine units before Thompsons were plentiful. It could deliver accurate fire, but its relatively intricate mechanism proved vulnerable to dirt and grit in tropical fighting, ultimately limiting its frontline longevity. United Defense M42, primarily marketed for export, yet it found its way into the hands of resistance fighters across Europe. Chambered for 9x19mm parabellum, it was ruggedly built and notable for an unusual dual magazine feed system that set it apart from its peers. M2 Hyde, an American prototype that ultimately failed to be adopted. It showed some promising concepts and competed with the M3 grease gun during trials, but its complexity made it a poor fit for the hurried wartime production environment. Next, British and Commonwealth submachine guns. Sten Mark II, the epitome of wartime pragmatism. Cheap, easy to produce, and simple to conceal, the Mk2 became ubiquitous among British and Commonwealth troops and resistance cells. It could be effective in combat, though some examples were prone to accidental discharges. Later variants, such as the Mk5, improved the ergonomics and added a wooden stock for better handling. Lanchester Mark I, a solid, well-made clone of the German MP-28. It was issued mainly to the Royal Navy and RAF for guard and security duties. Sturdily constructed and dependable, it was too costly and heavy for general infantry issue. Sten hatchet lineage, the Sterling hatchet development. Late in the war, the hatchet design underwent trials and foreshadowed the post-war Sterling. It was a refined, modern take on the submachine gun, but didn't see the widespread adoption it later earned after 1945. BSA Well Gun, a covert ops special. Built for clandestine missions, the Well Gun could be disassembled and hidden easily, making it ideal for agents operating behind enemy lines. Its compact form and quiet operation suited sabotage and guerrilla-style engagements. Australia's contributions next. Owen Gun, Australia's jungle-proven submachine gun. Recognizable for its top-mounted magazine, the Owen earned a reputation for astonishing reliability, particularly in the mud and humidity of the Pacific, and was highly favored by troops fighting in those conditions. Austin, an Australian hybrid design blending features of the British Sten and the German MP40. It was a serviceable weapon that combined some advantages of both designs, though the Owen eventually eclipsed it in popularity and field performance. Moving to Germany's well-known models. MP40, the archetypal German submachine gun. With its foldable stock and uncomplicated operation, the MP40 became the standard close support weapon of the Wehrmacht and defined squad-level automatic fire for German troops. MP38, the MP40's forerunner, built largely from machined parts. While well-made, it was expensive and time-consuming to manufacture. The later move to stamped construction with the MP40 proved essential for mass production. MP34, an Austrian-built, high-quality submachine gun, often compared to a luxury car in its class. It was heavy and robust, built to exacting standards, but its costliness made it impractical for large-scale issue. MP28, a development from the early Bergmann lineage. The MP28 saw service with police and SS units early in the war and was known for dependable operation even if its rate of fire was somewhat conservative. ERMA EMP, an influential early design that inspired later German submachine guns, including the MP-38. Exported and used by various units, the EMP helped set a pattern for subsequent German developments. MP-3008, a late-war German emergency weapon. Essentially a crude Sten copy, the MP-3008 featured a fixed wooden stock and was produced in fragmented workshops as the Reich's resources dwindled, representing desperation in design and production. Now, the Soviet entries.
PPSH-41, the Soviet high-volume fire solution. Nicknamed the PPSH, this submachine gun could unleash devastating cyclic rates, often around 900 rounds per minute, making it terrifyingly effective in urban fighting and close engagements. PPSH-43, a wartime simplification, evolved from the PPSH-41. Lighter and easier to manufacture during the siege of Leningrad and other crises, the PPSH-43 proved rugged, economical, and lethal in mass production. PPSH-42, the prototype phase that directly informed the PPSH-43. The PPSH-42 demonstrated the value of streamlining designs so they could be produced quickly under harsh wartime conditions, and it set the stage for the later simplified models. PPD-40, an earlier Soviet submachine gun that foreshadowed the PPSH. Well-built but relatively complex, the PPD-40 used drum and box magazines and was ultimately supplanted by simpler, cheaper designs better suited to wartime factories. PPD-34, one of the Red Army's first machine pistols, drawing influence from both Finnish and German concepts. It appeared in limited numbers and laid groundwork for the mass-producible weapons that followed. Turning to Italian submachine guns. Beretta Model 38, widely regarded as one of the finest SMGs of the war. The Model 38 combined excellent manufacturing quality and superb balance, serving reliably as Italy's main submachine gun through much of the conflict. Finmeccanica B-43, a distinctive late-war Italian design with a folding stock and a complex recoiling barrel mechanism intended to tame the rate of fire. It was expensive and only produced in small quantities toward the end of hostilities. TZ-45, another late-war Italian attempt at a simplified stamped steel submachine gun. Featuring a grip safety and a muzzle brake, it saw limited service before the war's conclusion. OVP-1918, an early Italian automatic pistol-like weapon derived from older automatic carbine concept. It saw minor use in the opening phases of the conflict after having origins that stretched back toward the First World War. Beretta Model 1918, Italy's first automatic pistol-type firearm adapted from earlier rifle designs, often used by police and rear area units rather than front-line squads during World War II. Poland's notable contribution. Suomi KP-31, a Finnish-built masterpiece of accuracy and durability. With high-quality construction and large drum magazines, the Suomi delivered deadly suppressive fire against invading Soviet forces and earned respect from friend and foe alike. Japan's submachine guns. Type 100, the principal Japanese submachine gun. Typically fitted with a permanent bipod and often a bayonet lug, its configuration reflected doctrinal preferences in Japanese infantry tactics of the era. Type 2, a simplified, experimental Japanese design intended to reduce production complexity relative to the Type 100. It saw very limited manufacture before the war ended. France's representative. MAS 38, a French submachine gun chambered for a relatively low-powered, unique cartridge that reduced recoil and allowed better control. Its distinctive angled receiver made it stand out among contemporaries. Hungary's models. Danuvia 39M, Hungary's standard pre-war submachine gun. Robust and chambered in 9mm, it was notable for features such as a folding vertical grip on some variants and served as a reliable national pattern. Danuvia 43M, a later shortened refinement of the 39M intended to be more maneuverable and user-friendly for front-line troops as the war progressed. Romania's example. Arita M1941, a well-regarded indigenous submachine gun produced to good standards in Romania and chambered for the common 9mm round. It earned a reputation for neat design and solid workmanship. Poland's clandestine and interwar contributions. WZ-39, Morse VZN-39, an advanced pre-war Polish design of high quality but also complexity. Only a handful were completed before the German invasion, making it a sought-after rarity. Bleskawica, literally lightning, a resistance-made weapon designed for clandestine manufacture during the Warsaw Uprising. The Bleskawica closely imitated the Sten and proved crucial in urban insurgency. Pochewec 1, an indigenous Polish clandestine model chambered for pistol cartridges and tailored for covert operations by partisan groups. KISS, a home army resistance design that included a folding stock and other practical features. Despite its success in concept, production numbers remained small. Finally, Czechoslovakia. ZK-3A3, a robust Czechoslovakian submachine gun notable for its quick-change barrel and an integrated bipod, allowing it to serve as a light support weapon in addition to standard SMG roles.